Alright, how the heck do we use WeStrive the app on your phone? How do you navigate it, and what does that even look like? I've been asked this question honestly a lot, and I wanted to make this video to show you exactly how to use all the features on it currently. Most likely there's going to be updates, so this may be outdated by the time you're seeing it, and if that's the case, just ask questions. But definitely, this should be a pretty thorough guide of how to go through WeStrive and navigate every aspect of it. So, I got my phone here, I'm going to walk you through it. I hope this makes sense, and if it doesn't, never be afraid to ask questions. I got you. So, as we look at this home screen, you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff. Now, right off the bat, what you're going to notice is at the very top, mine does not show a workout plan. That's because for this day, the workout has already been checked off. But what you're likely going to see at the very top under my programs is that you will indeed have a workout plan. But for this one, under the circumstance, it shows just the nutrition plan. So just know, if you were to click on that workout plan right there, at the very top next to a barbell or whatever weight they choose to put there, you're going to be able to click on that and access the workout for that single day. So you don't have to go anywhere else once you see that workout at the very top. That's all you gotta do. Click it, go to the bottom, start your workout, and you're good to go. Now, moving on though past that, and I'll show you how to navigate that in just a second in another tab, but looking at this home screen, first and foremost, you can see we have a nutrition plan. Now, as you know, I don't create meal plans. Instead, what I do is help you and work together to create a meal menu and give you nutrition education. What you're gonna find in your nutrition plan though is more of your You and Your Macros PDF, which just breaks down nutrition, macronutrients, and everything in between. So you can always click on that and get instant access to it, but that's what's there. That may change in the future, and you may actually be able to access different things from that spot. But right now, in this moment, from what you're seeing on this screen, if I was to click that, which I won't because it actually takes a minute to download, and out here where I'm at, the connection is not the speediest, so it would take a bit. So I'm not gonna click that, but if you did click it, it would open up a PDF for you. Now, as we move down this home screen, we can actually see a bunch of different things. For example, for this account, my test account, you can see that on the daily nutrition goal piece, at the very top of my screen now, it shows 2,100 calories. If I was to click on that, what's gonna happen is that I'm taken to this screen. I can see the total calories that I've set for you as my client. You can see that for this person, I've set 2,100 calories for the goal. Unfortunately, at this moment in time, I cannot set a range, which drives me nuts, but that's for another day, because realistically, we always look at ranges. But in this case, you're gonna see that the calorie goal is set for 2,100. We're gonna look down, we can find out the carbs are set for 210 grams, protein, 163 grams, and fat, 68 grams. Now, one piece to note real quick is this is all at a zeroed out function. If your WeStrive is currently connected to Lose It and you've already put some information into Lose It, that's most likely gonna transfer over here, and all of this will be a little bit different looking. If you ever have questions, what your calorie goal, macro goals are, whatsoever, just ask. I'm happy to tell you. But as we scroll through this and look through this, you can see that fiber is in there for 35 grams and sodium is in there for 2,300. Just as a reference point, that's where you're gonna find all of your information. Now, in Lose It, you could make this identical. You could move all this information into Lose It, put all the information in there, if you have the paid subscription for Lose It. But you don't have to use that. If you just simply use this as your reference guide and utilize Lose It for a purpose of just seeing where your numbers are at, you're fine. Now, last piece on this screen is if you click the plus sign, you can actually input all of this information. You can put in your calories directly from Lose It. You can put all the numbers I'd love to see from you directly from Lose It, because I'll be honest, Lose It tracks sometimes on point, sometimes not at all. So having this input from you is super duper helpful, but it's also not the end of the world if it's not in there. But I just wanted to make sure I showed you that. Let's scroll down from there, and I'm gonna click back. Now, you'll also see a message of the day every single day of the year. My goal was to fill that out every day, and somehow I managed to do it. So if you end up clicking on that, you'll just get a neat little message from me. Sometimes motivational, sometimes it's a quote. Engage with it if you want. Hopefully that inspires you to some degree. But I thought it'd be kind of fun, so I threw that in there for you guys. And apparently when you click done, it goes away. Actually, that was the first time I found that out. So there we go, learning something with you. Now, next piece is sometimes you'll see this survey. Now, I say sometimes because it depends on the week, but you're gonna get different reminders from this point. If I was to click on the survey, I could actually go through the entire bi-weekly check-in with you, and I'll just start here so you can see it, but you can go through this whole thing. You can just simply click there. I'm gonna have that access to you so you have the reminder to do so, and then it's right in front of you. It's right on the homepage. But let's say you do miss it. If you do miss the bi-weekly check-in and you're like, I don't see it anymore, it's not on my home screen, easy fix. If you notice, there's it says I have 1 uncompleted task. If I was to click on this, show uncompleted tasks, I'm gonna see that I've missed one in the past. So all I have to do is simply click on that and I can access that one. Now, if you end up having like 2, maybe you got a couple, that's not great. We didn't communicate very well on that. I should probably fix that moving forward. But if you only have 1 in there, keep me posted because I'm happy to walk you through how to go through that. And realistically, all we'd end up doing is just doing 1 and maybe bypassing another or omitting another. But I want to make sure that we're getting those bi-weekly check-ins done to make sure that I know how I can be the best coach I can be for you. So, as we scroll past this, now you're going to see a bunch of different things. I will show you the more intricate pieces with this, but just as a quick glance through this first, you can see it will give you quick access to things like body weight, eating calories, a whole ton of information that you can choose to watch and monitor for yourself, or for what I would actually tell you to do. But if all of that, if you go through this and you're like, my God, that's so much information that I just don't care to know, I don't blame you. All you gotta do, click customize. Now you're gonna see, if I click that red dot with the minus button, that's gonna allow me to delete an option. I'm not gonna do that for body weight because I wanna keep that, but that would allow me to keep on that. Now, the cool thing is you can also reorder things of importance. So let's say I wanted to change it to where my steps were up higher. I wanted that like right under my active energy. I just move it up and I'm good to go. Now, let's say though, I delete something by accident. If you come down here and you search, or if you just type in things like steps, you can search all sorts of different things and then you're good to go. You can re-add it. It's not the end of the world. But that way, it's gonna allow you to adjust everything you see. It's custom to you and it fits in exactly the way that we would like it for you to see, or how you would like it to be seen. So now, as I finish up this homepage, there's 3 more things I wanna show you. If I hit this plus sign on the home screen, that's gonna give you the option to enter your eaten calories, like we saw on the previous page when you clicked on your calories. Add some progress photos, your body weight, cardio for monitoring your cardio, and you can also just utilize a timer. You can do so many things just from the homepage just by clicking that button. So keep in mind, there's a lot of tools here. Other pieces at the very top on the right, you're gonna see this bell with a button or a red dot. If I click this, this is gonna tell you all the different things that you could be seeing from me that I'm relaying information to you. Maybe it's about your program, maybe it's just something quick that we're adjusting. That's where you're gonna find any notifications. Or if we're having a conversation through WeStrive, if you click that little message bubble at the top right as well, you're gonna get access to maybe our chat just between you and me, maybe a group chat, maybe as you see here, there's a training resources, guides, and tutorials chat. Wherever we got, or whatever we've got in the chat section, that's where you're gonna find it. So that's the whole homepage, which is a lot of information, but just know there's a lot of stuff you can access right away and you're good to go. Now, next piece I'm gonna click on is that calendar tab on the bottom. So from here, we see a couple different things. As you can see, like I told you, that workout was already completed today, so it didn't show on the homepage. And you can see a check mark right there. But if I wanted to access it still, or if I wanted to access it for the first time, all I have to do is simply click on this. It's gonna pull up my workout. And then from here, I'm gonna be able to go through, see briefly what's there, but I can also update my workout, or what I'd like you to do for the first time is start your workout. So if I click that big button at the bottom, this is gonna pull up your workout. From here, you're gonna see all your exercises laid out in all these different tabs. This first one, for example, potentially the first 2, are gonna have warm-ups. For each of these pages, what you're gonna notice is all the reps are laid out and all the sets are laid out. All you're gonna do is check out your first exercise. If you don't know it, you click the play button. It's gonna show a video of me explaining it to you, and you're good to go. You work through this. Again, if you have questions though, as you work through it, simply ask, and you're good to go. But that's how you would see the first page. You can scroll through, you can see everything. Now, as I want to progress through my workout, if I slide the screen, you're going to go to the next screen, and the next, until you get to your actual workout. Once you get to your workout, there's a couple things to note. You're going to see things like sets, rest, right at the top. You'll notice that right off the bat, I put a little on some of these exercises. For the most part, I try to put this on everything, is you're going to get an exclamation point in this notes section. If you click more, this is going to show you a full extensive list of all the notes I've added to your day. You're going to be able to see maybe if we're monitoring your intensity, maybe warm-up sets. Whatever you're gonna see in those notes, that's where you're gonna find them. You wanna make sure you click that, check them out, stay updated on them, because sometimes I throw tidbits of information out there just to make sure that if you specifically have adjustments we need to take into consideration, those are in there. So I'm gonna click close, and now we're gonna look at the next piece, which is sets. For this one, I've actually included warm-up sets. So it seems like a lot, but you're gonna see 8 sets. This includes all the warm-up sets for this test to count. You're also gonna notice that it's got rest time between sets. Perfect. This is how long we're gonna rest between every set that we're doing for all of our reps. So as I scroll down again, you can see all the reps are built in, but for some reason for this account, there's no weights. For this account, they were never put in weights, but for yours, there may be. So what you're gonna notice though, is if I click the mount, I can actually enter in, I use this weight for this as a warm up. Then for the next one, let's say I jumped it up, I use this weight for this, and then you keep going. Feel free and please do add numbers into those things. Change the reps. If you only got 8, put 8. Ideally for the warm up, that's not the case. That's for a different story. But anyhow, you can adjust things like the reps and the weights completely seamlessly. You can scroll down, you can see everything, and you're good to go. The last piece I wanted to note though is if you click add note, here you're gonna be able to say, this exercise felt like this. Maybe your shoulder felt weird. Maybe your hips felt weird with an exercise. Maybe it felt amazing and you loved this sort of movement. Let me know. The more information I have about what you're going through, the better off the experience is gonna be for you, but the better off I can make sure that I'm approaching coaching for you as well. So I'm gonna click, or I'm gonna pull down from there. There's a couple more pieces I wanna show you, but I'm gonna keep scrolling past this because it's gonna keep popping up. We're gonna see all these different exercises. Again, continued. Here we go. Now you're gonna see one that's more of a superset. You're gonna see 2 exercises back to back. In this case, you perform both of them back to back before you rest. Now this one's a little bit different in the sense that it's only got 1 set, so it's not gonna actually show rest. But if there was more than 1 set, that's where you're gonna see a rest. The one piece I want you to note though, is on the very top, and this is true for all different exercises, is if I was to click this circle button with the timer in it, on the top right, this is gonna allow me to look at past records of how much weight I've used. So if I wanted to check out my curls for some reason, I can click on that and I can see the reps. I can see the weight. Fortunately with this test count, there were no reps or weights given. But if I was to go to a different exercise, you would see for the past, I believe it's about 2 weeks, you can actually get great information on all of your different lifts as long as you're putting in the information. So just make sure you're adding in your info. When you check your weights again, you can always go back to the week prior by clicking that button and see like, I used this weight last time, cool, I'm gonna use this weight this time. Even if it's a little bit different than what's given in your program. Just know, you can always check there and you're gonna be great. You're gonna get a lot of extra information from there. I'm gonna scroll back and now I'm gonna click on this messaging button at the top just to show you what it does. That just opens up the chats. It's kind of a weird spot, but if you need to reference anything while you're doing your workout, it's a quick and easy tool. The other piece is if you wanted to save any edits to your workout, all you gotta do is click this top save button right there at the top right that has that orange little click, and then after a minute, it's gonna say this, the workout was successfully saved, and you're good to go. Now, there's a couple final tidbits that I wanted to show you. I just wanted to check to see if that made sure that it worked. If I look down at the very bottom where it says stopwatch and it's got the timer, if I click that button, maybe I do. There we go. Didn't want to work the first time. If I click that, it's gonna pull up the screen. From here, I can access things like a timer and just use it this way. Clearly counts up. If I wanna use a timer or a stopwatch, what the heck? I read it differently, my bad. If you look at the first part of the screen, you're gonna see it count as a stopwatch. So obviously here, you push start, it's gonna count up. If you wanna use it as a timer, counting down, you can simply set a whole bunch of different parameters. You can click prepare to give you a count in. You can even adjust the settings as you go through it. From here, you're also gonna see that there's a Tabata option if you're doing Tabatas. You can adjust all sorts of timers through this. So they've made a lot of improvements over time with this, but just remember, you can always check there for them. And if I click that top arrow, that's how I get out of it. But also, you can simply just scroll. If you go to the bottom and you just slide to the right, slide to the left, you can go through all those options very seamlessly. You just don't have the customization options that you might. Now, last final piece with the timer or the stopwatch is you do not have to push start when you do your workouts. That does not matter at all. You don't have to click that. That's just if you wanted to use those features, okay? Now I'm gonna scroll over to the last screen, which is the final one, and you're gonna notice that that bottom right changed to a check mark. There's 2 things you can do, and I always want you to do this, is you wanna complete your workout, but you can either slide it to the right, and it will say, would you like to complete your workout? Or you can simply click this check mark button, and it's gonna say the same thing. Make sure at the end of every workout, you click that. So then it tells me that you've done your workout, and it submits everything. Otherwise, I won't know that you're actually doing your stuff. So if you click yes, it's gonna pull up a couple different features. The first one, you're gonna have the ability to put in a how do you feel section. Make it fun, put in a smiley face. Maybe it was just super intense and it was just like, oh my God, Ray killed me. Add that in there. Like whatever face you wanna make, I don't care, but I'm gonna put in the smiley face one. Real quick, you can also see achievements. You can look at all these different things from your different lifts. Pretty cool. You can monitor where you're setting different records and different movements, which is awesome. So be sure to check there. And then also, let me know how you feel. This was great. Whatever you want to say. Let me know, though, how your workout was, so I get an idea and have fun with it. Doesn't always have to be super serious. Go crazy. But I'm going to click done. It's going to save the workout, and I'm good to go. So now, as we go back to the other page eventually, there we go. I'm going to click back, just to get back to the original. In each day, when we're on this page, we're still in that calendar tab, you're going to notice that you have all your to-do list stuff right off the bat. You've got your nutrition, you've got your survey, or your check-in. You've also got your message of the day. If I wanted to look in the future or the past, though, I easily could. If I click on the top screen where it says Friday, I can check out Friday's plan. If I click Saturday, I can see ahead of time, like, oh, I have to put in my body weight, my progress photos, some measurements. Those are all due on Saturday. It gives you a heads up of what to expect for the week. So then you know exactly what you're doing, you're not super confused, you're not thrown off, and then you get to the habit and the momentum of doing everything you've already got, and you're great. The final piece of this page is if you click on the top right, where it's got this little calendar button or option, you can switch it over to a list if that works easier for you, but you just find the view that works the best for you and go with it. Oh, and before I forget, there is a plus sign on this page as well. It's basically the same information from the home screen what you saw. Now, clicking on this dumbbell feature at the bottom. If we click that, you're going to be able to see all different programs that are active. Weirdly enough, this one has an active program, but it doesn't say there is. It's very confusing. I don't know why. But if you wanted to click on your past programs, click Show Completed Programs, and you can scroll through all your different programs that you've ever done and check them out. Another cool feature that they're currently adding in is this Resource tab. Now, if you click on this, it's not going to have anything yet. But in the future, we're going to have the ability to put in different things that you can utilize during your workouts, during your time that you don't have your workouts. This is your reference guide to any resources that we've actually needed and utilized over your whole training period. So this is where you're going to find a lot of other helpful information, but just so you know, that's where you find resources. The last piece we're going to click on is that Profile tab on the bottom right. When we go here, this is where you find the ins and outs of your WeStrive, basically. This is you. This is your account. You can add a photo. You can check your progress photos, update your progress photos. You can check documents if I've given you any. You can change your name if you really wanted to, but the main piece I wanted to show you, aside from putting your birthday, be sure to put your birthday. I want to celebrate you. But also check your notifications. Make sure you click notifications and make sure that they're turned on, as in this blue setting here. So if this was toggled this way, they're not on. You're not going to get any notifications or heads up. But if it's on, you're going to actually get notifications from me. You're going to get notifications about your workout, everything in between. So do make sure that your notifications are on, just so they actually come over to you. You don't have to worry about deleting or logging out. Never touch those, or else the whole thing gets messy. But that's it. That's how we use WeStrive. I hope that made sense. And again, if you have any questions on anything, never hesitate to reach out. But in the meantime, let's get after it.